Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what I think are important factors here on this early Saturday morning and also a thinly traded weekend. We're in a pretty interesting spot right now because overnight we've consolidated within a range of about 56.1 cents to right around where we're at right now. There hasn't been much of an upside consolidation. It's actually been a pretty nice, very suave way of like testing little areas of support, trying to break up a little bit higher. And if we look this morning, we've set ourselves up for a little bit of a, well, it's difficult to say, but it looks like some small appreciation could happen today. We have a golden cross in the very small time frame, the 3-minute, 5-minute, we've got a golden cross. 15-minute, we're starting to have we had a golden cross in the smaller time frames. 15, we just had a bullish cross. The way we're set up, we have a small little pattern set up here as well. Little support structure down here at 56 cents roughly, 56.07. Created a second small structure at 56.20. And we're trying to move. We hit the 200-day, came through very universally. And now we're looking to get above 56.47 and try to push up, in my opinion, what we've been talking about the last few days. And it doesn't have to. We can get invalidated if we fall below 55.9 cents. But it looks like to me we're going to try to come up. And first area of resistance would be right up here around 56.8 in current times. But even further more than that, it looks like if XRP could have the right scenario here this weekend, which a right scenario would have been to hold last night, not fall through this, and then be able to come up in a swift motion here. This is how we would have this inverse head and shoulder style setup. And if it comes up, even if we're bearish, we should come up. And yeah, we could come up and get rejected at 58.20. But theoretically, we could come all the way back up to 61.4 and retest the cup and handle just below it. Because if we want to test the cup and handle resistance at 63.20, but that rising channel resistance is at 61.46. So what I was hoping to see play out is exactly what did overnight. If we're looking for small appreciation this weekend, this is the only way we would have a chance, is we had to hold that overnight consolidation. And now it looks like hopefully we'll be able to push up because we did not fall off overnight and we didn't move much. Wow, we've got the squirrels eating so much. We've got these these in front of my tree because we have a maple tree. So if you open them up, you get the little seeds in here. And the squirrels went crazy last night. There's just the remnants everywhere in my car. It's awesome seeing it. I love when they start to need to fatten up for the winter. It's so awesome. They come around. They're always more friendly, and they're always more willing to come up to you. So we're gonna go through XRP. I know I gave you a little nice rundown of what to expect here, but I wanted to start that way. We also have 2 bits of reading, and one you're gonna really like. Should you buy XRP Ripple while it's less than 60 cents if you've not bought in yet? I don't put a lot of stock in the Motley Fool, but I like reading stuff with this kind of spin. And then gold prices keep breaking new highs, record highs in 2024. Central banks are driving the demand. And yesterday, gold had an epic breakout. For the first time ever, it got over $2,500. And it closed $50.04 up on Friday to end the week, up 2% on Friday. And we're up to $2,506.84. And we'll get into gold, B2 Gold, at the end of this update. So don't worry, you don't have to leave yet. But as I know, most of you will once I get to that part of this update. But we're going to focus on XRP here. We'll go through that reading, and then we'll make the most of this. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this update. I really need your help in getting this program, the content out there. So make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this video. If you're watching on Facebook, I really need you to share this. We're starting to grow a little bit. We hit 2,500 followers on Facebook, which is incredible. So I appreciate the help. But if you are watching on Facebook, please share this so far and wide. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube and you have a Facebook, share my YouTube on your Facebook. And then look for XRP Future Millionaire on Facebook, and you can follow me there as well. If you're looking to trade XRP in the USA or abroad, look in the video description below and our pinned comments. You've got BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. My personal favorite only because of the usability and the fact that there's a tighter liquidity pool when it comes to certain leverage tokens. If you're looking to trade XRP, no VPN or KYC worldwide, I would highly encourage you to take advantage. You can also take advantage of HOTCOIN. That's where you can copy trade me. We're up 120% right now. The last few trades have been a little volatile. Had a $25 hitter, had a $15 loser. You know, the last one was a small winner, but they're up and down left and right. So if you followed from the beginning, you're up 120%, or $120 on our $100 challenge, just over $120. But I am telling you, it's very volatile, and right now is a time where if you're joining, you could see a lot of $5 to $7 losses until one stacks up. So make sure you make an educated and informed decision. That's on HOTCOIN, and that's in the video description below in our pinned comments. Take advantage of those exchanges so you don't have to get roped in on the fees. So make sure to hit that like button. I'll catch you on the other side of this beautiful intro. Good morning, 8:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, August 17th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So today we do the birthday party for our soon-to-be 11-year-old on August 26th. But we are doing the birthday party today, so it should be a good time. It starts at 2. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a live today, but I will certainly do a couple updates at the very least, starting with this one. So XRP, as we see, is up 0.27, 1/4% this morning at about the 56.50 level. Right now, as we said overnight, we did what we needed to do to continue this push up. When I woke up, I was very happy to see we consolidated in such a tight range. When I went to bed, I want to say was right about here. XRP was right around 56.35. I noticed overnight it came down here at about 7:38 a.m., which I was happy to see it did it in the morning in the U.S., that it did come down that small amount. So some woke up at 56.59. It immediately came down over the next 2 to 3 hours to 56.26. It's not a massive correction, but what it did was after a push up, it came down about 0.5%, 0.6%, and now it's pulling back up. I still fully expect at least a rejection at 56.8. But furthermore, in my heart, I feel like this is trying to set up for a move on this inverse head and shoulders, at least to get back up to 61.4. I could be completely wrong. And if this gets invalidated, first level invalidation is below 55.9. If that breaks, the short-term pattern is invalidated, and then we might come all the way down to 55 or even 54.6, and until you break 54.6, this inversion isn't invalidated, but you really don't want to come back below that inverse right arm if that's what it's playing out for. Because we put on the stability area, it did come through with a few wicks below, but you can see how it's trying to bounce off of it. And if it does, that is the area of interest if it bounced off it. If not, like I said, if we come below first area 56.18 is an area of concern, because we did form this little short-term reversal, and it's not huge, but we're trying to create a short-term reversal here. As we can see, it's a little W. We came up, down, back consolidating. Now we're trying to push up, try to tap that 56.7 area, come right up to that 56.8, and see if we're still very bearish. If we could break out just a small amount off of what looks like a very, very minuscule bull flag, we still have to do our due diligence. So let's just say this is, in fact, and we'll take the smaller area here. We're not going to try to be overzealous. Let's say it did start breaking from there. That would only get us to about 57.4, but this is that short term we're talking about. And then we'll see, are we bullish or bearish? And I would actually be happy, even if it got rejected there, because at least we would have got that little bounce back that we've been seeing. Otherwise, if this does break down, I mean, you're talking about likely, instead of going to 57.4, 54.1. But it does look to me on appearance that it wants to try to come up there. But you never know on a thinly traded week in which direction the market makers take us. So we'll continue watching this over the next roughly 11 minutes of this update. Now let's get into, should you buy Ripple XRP while it's less than 60 cents? And if you do appreciate my work, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as we're at 22,619 subscribers. And consider joining Tom's Army in this beautiful month of August. Get that emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens in month 1. Or if you don't want to do that, consider sending a YouTube super chat one time this month. And if you are opposed to sending it on YouTube but you want to show support, you can always go to Cash App, type in Tom Jr. 222, and you can certainly send a donation that way. Should you buy Ripple XRP while it's less than 60 cents? The XRP cryptocurrency, more commonly known as Ripple, recently scored a big win in the courtroom. That legal albatross no longer hangs over Ripple's shoulders, which frees the underlying Ripple Labs to run its business and seek partnerships even on U.S. soil. But the cryptocurrency didn't skyrocket on the news. I mean, Ripple posted a 26% price gain right away, but that only made up from a plunge earlier in the week. That week. Apart from the blip, its price chart is basically a carbon copy of Bitcoin's crypto over the last month. The functional coin of RippleNet International Payment System once peaked at $3.84 per coin, and now lingers at just below the 60-cent mark. Where will Ripple go from here, and is it a good cryptocurrency to own at these modest prices? Cryptocurrency gains value in a couple of different ways, which we don't really give the rat's ass. Fine, we'll read it. Some cryptocurrencies gain value in a couple different ways. Some soar or swoon based on media hype, memes going viral on social media platforms, and other forms of pure speculation. Dogecoin is the best example of this, along with meme coins such as Shiba Inu or Dog Wi. Others were built on a robust technological platform designed to build value over time to limited supply and rising demand. Bitcoin is the flagship of this idea, with a hard-coded lifetime limit of 21 million coins. So far, 19.7 million of them have already been created, leaving room for only 6% inflation ever. Any increase in user demand can drive its price much higher under these circumstances. And then we have the coins that have other uses than simply storing monetary value in a secure digital ledger, with functions such as smart contracts, financial management tools, or ownership records for real-world assets. These cryptocurrencies are meant to provide new tools, products, and services. Widespread use of resulting things will then boost the value of the underlying cryptocurrency. Some coins straddle the boundaries between these categories, of course. Shiba Inu is both an initiative experiment and decentralized projects and a silly meme coin. Cardano combines high-speed execution of smart contracts with a lifetime supply cap of 45 million coins. And then there's Ripple. 45 million? That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. ADA total circulating supply. I'm sorry, but that doesn't seem right. That seemed like they needed to add 1 billion. Yeah. That's why you need to be careful when you read articles. Current circulating supply 35.6 billion. That's the supply right now. Their total supply is 45 billion. Okay. Now that makes sense. Just making sure. I'm like, what the hell? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, they meant to say 45 billion. So, and then there's Ripple. There will never be more than 100 billion XRP coins on the market, and all of them were created before Ripple Labs made the currency available to the public. About 44% of that supply is held in escrow account. Ripple Labs can control its price to some degree by holding back or doing out coins from this account. But for the most part, Ripple Labs runs a successful payment service that provides border-crossing money transfers with minimal fees and at the drop of a hat. The Ripple coin should gain value as people around the world lean in to this elegant solution for the real-world problem of slow and expensive international money transfers. RippleNet is already a successful business. The crypto-based network has partnered with local banks in dozens of countries, and it's not a list of mom-and-pop outfits. The partner list includes Spanish giant Banco Santander, British megabank Standard Chartered, and several of the largest American banks. I'm talking about Bank of America, JP Morgan, both of whom have collaborated with Ripple in the past and may do so again. And we know what JP Morgan Chase is going to, in the future, being implemented now, they're going to accept at some point in the near future XRP for your mortgage and credit card payments. A swift way indeed for JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon to gain exposure to XRP without actually having to purchase them. See the beauty of that with an institution? They found a way to accept it as payment. No, it's not going to be converted into cash. They're going to hold it, and they're going to do what they feel fit. The local banks help Ripple convert cash into crypto on the one side of each Ripple net transaction, then back to another fiat currency on the other side. They also provide liquid assets to support the payment system, which also adds stability to the financial system. RippleNet's transaction volume is spiking in 24 alongside a growing network of ledger managing computer systems. At the same time, 80% of Japan banks are adopting a Ripple-based system for overseas money transfers. Long story short, Ripple Labs runs a thriving financial service with a bright future. Ripple's coin price should benefit from the sprawling activity. I can't promise skyrocketing returns in 24 or 25. Ripple has delivered negative returns over the last 52 weeks while Bitcoin doubled in price. And that's in a period of highly publicized courtroom success, which should have boosted that chart. There's just no telling what Ripple or any cryptocurrency really will do in the short term, but it should almost certainly rise in the long run. The legal wrangling is over, amounting to 125 million slap on RippleNet's billionaire risk. The payment system is thriving. I'm told that Ripple Labs might even join the stock market eventually. So yes, I'm pretty sure that Ripple prices below 60 cents will be remembered as a money-making opportunity. It's one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, and I highly recommend picking up a few digital coins on the cheap. So should you invest $1,000 in XRP right now? XRP, they're trying to tell you who to invest in. That's where they give you the bullshit on top of it. That's why I don't like them. They can't even just tell you the back end of it. So, Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Right now, the Fear and Greed Index is at extreme fear 25 for crypto. Yesterday, it was at 27 fear. Last week, it was fear at 40. Last month, 61 greed. It got up to 74 greed at one point in July, end of July. And now, right now, we're in extreme fear. So you always have better money-making opportunities when crypto's in extreme fear. I always tell everybody, pay attention when it's extreme fear and walk away when it's extreme greed. So gold prices keep breaking records in 2024. And we're not going to read this whole thing. We're going to do a quick rundown here. Central banks are driving the rally. So it's been almost 50 years since U.S. gold futures had their first day of trading, and the precious metals has found a great way to blah, blah, blah. So central bank demand for gold. So, gold may still have room to run thanks to strong buying in Western investors and global central banks. Central bank demand for gold has surged in the past 5 years, swallowing nearly 1 in 10 ounce every 10 ounces produced by mining sector on official data. Adrian Ash, Bullion Vault's director of research, said in commentary this week. The seemingly relentless appetite for gold among central banks has become ever more important to gold's underlining bull run, both in terms of fundamentals and for wider market sentiment, he said. The total quantity of gold held in central bank reserves has increased by almost 19% by weight since the summer of 2004. Ghost, here's some food, kitty. Come here, Ghost. I was waiting for you, buddy. I got you the food. Yeah, good kitty. The total quantity of gold held in the central bank reserves has increased by almost 19% weight since the summer of 2004. And it's jumped sevenfold to 2.4 trillion in U.S. dollar value, led by Russia, China, India, Turkey, according to Ash. The continued buying of gold is at or very close to exhausting the free-floating inventory of tradable gold. Paul Wong, market strategist at Sprott Asset Management, told MarketWatch the world's official gold holdings total 36,089 metric tons as of May 2024. According to the World Gold Council, which cited calculations from International Monetary Fund, that's a sizable amount of given market estimates suggest that around 212,582 metric tons of gold has been mined throughout history. According to the World Gold Council, gold prices are rising because central banks are buying, likely diversifying away from U.S. Treasuries amid worries about the U.S. fiscal situation. Torsten Slok, chief economist at Apollo Global Management, told MarketWatch. On Friday, the most active December gold futures contract, GCOO, 2.16% up, GCZ24 up 2.16%, climbed to a record intraday high of 2,538 an ounce on COMEX and reached a record settlement of 2,537.80. Gold futures rise to fresh records in August. Geopolitical uncertainty remains elevated, which supports gold. Other investment opportunities for households in China, such as housing and stocks in China and Hong Kong, have declined, increasing demand for gold in Chinese households, Locke said. Central banks' gold demand has spiked after the U.S. and allies imposed sanctions on Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, said Brian Ludden, editor of Gold Newsletter. After that weaponization of the dollar, central banks bought or sought to insulate themselves by shifting their reserve assets away from the dollar into gold, he said. So we talk. I don't really go through there. So East meets West Western buying. Meanwhile, London pointed out that there had been a relative absence of Western buyers of gold. But with the Federal Reserve seemingly on path toward interest rate cuts beginning next month, Western investors are coming into the market and repricing gold higher. There's no real reason to expect either central banks or Chinese investors and servers to abandon their gold purchases as Western buying comes into support the price, he said. So we could see the first instance ever in the history of gold as an inevitable asset, or investable asset, where buyers in both the East and West purchase gold. London said, referring to the post-1971 period, the U.S. monetary system was linked to gold reserves, and gold was money until 1971 when Richard Nixon put an end to the so-called gold standard. If the markets, and if you want to know the truth, since 1908, if you've had your money just sitting in the bank or sitting in under your mattress, passing it on from relatives, your value of the dollar has lost 98%. It's like 98.2% since 1904. The value of gold has gone up, 6,000-fold from then? So, I mean, it's amazing what's happened. If the market does see both West and East buying gold, that could result in far higher gold prices than we are seeing today, London said. So I thought that was interesting to share. This update's gone way over, not way over, but it's over 20 minutes. We've got XRP, what we're looking at this morning, it's at 56.50. We're looking for that push to right around 56.85, and the technical move is 57.44 on the small bull flag if it plays up. But ultimately, we're looking for this weird little inversion here. You can see left head, inverted left shoulder, inverted head, inverted right shoulder if it plays off. We could see us come back up to that 61.4 cent mark, but we have a few resistance in the way. We have a psychological point at 60 cents. And then we also have the two levels we spoke of this morning, 56.85 and 57.44. So your three resistance right now, 56.85, 57.44, and 60 cent area. And then you got 61.61 or 61.11 over the top, which is the rising channel resistance. And then 63.8, I think it is in current times. We have 63.2, which is the cup and handle resistance. Now, right before I leave, I want to show you the gold chart as it closed at a record high of 2,506.84. And right now we have a technical move at 2,523 off of this breakout. And then there's also over the top, if we break bullish off of this little handle, or the little cup with this handle we formed, that's 2,616. So I'll keep it there for the short term. Yes, we have a technical target after a 44-year breakout of resistance. Finally, this is the first time in 44 years we've done this. And we bounced off of it at 2,375. So we've clearly broken out and flipped this to an area of support now. After 44 years of an uptrending resistance. Now the technical target is just north of 4,000 if it plays bullish. You heard that right. That's another 1,500 points. And B2 Gold had a beautiful week. Last week we had an overzealous sell-off. I put in a buy signal at $2.41. And I can show the proof because everybody always says I'm lying for some reason when I talk about commodities. But $2.41 average cost per share. That was last Friday when we had an overzealous dump off because we had an earnings miss on revenue. But we did fine. We missed one on earnings, but we beat revenue. So we had more revenue than expected. Wait a minute. Was it revenue or earnings? Now I got myself confused this early morning. I feel like I talked the wrong. Yeah, earnings we missed and revenue we beat. Okay. So, and they didn't even miss on a bad side. They were expecting 0.06 and they reported 0.06. Their estimate was 0.072. So they only missed on their estimate. They estimated 472.684 million in revenue. They reported 492.569. So even though they had less earnings, they had better revenue, which meant it was an overzealous sell-off. When it came down all the way to $2, it came down to $2 on an overzealous wick, $2.35. I bought it at $2.41 on this wick, so I managed to get the second part of it. And then we've rode it so far, and we're looking for $2.80, that first strong target. and we bounced off $2.56. So I don't really see any reason to think otherwise. Bought in at $2.41 up to $2.69. I bought 3,008 shares. It's up 11.63% in 1 calendar week. And it's made me $842.74 on $7,249 in just 1 week. Make sure to hit that like button. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you made it until the end, including the gold part of this, hashtag be better, do better in the comments.